Through all these years, Elisa and I appreciate the support and love you have all shown to us, our entire family, especially our mom. We grew up in a home with two strong, loving, incredible role models. Both our parents give selflessly to us and to everyone that gets the opportunity to meet them. Our mom has been there for us and for so many other children and families at Temple Jeremiah. She has treated and cared for every single child at Temple Jeremiah as her own and has touched the lives and helped so many families throughout her years here.
So many people have talked about our mom's kindest heart, which is truly from God. But as her daughters, we wanted to acknowledge the strength of her character, especially as our mother. As many of you know, our mom endured unimaginable hard times in her life. But every loss, tragedy, and challenge not only made her more caring, empathetic, and loving, but also created her most beautiful strength. As we have now been raising our own kids, we have marveled at how our mom juggled it all. Now knowing the reality of the emotional and physical energy and strength it takes to parent, we are truly in awe of how she balanced being the best to everyone in her life, especially to us. After we moved back from Israel and we were babies, she got her PhD working full-time at Solomon Schechter. And then when she started at Jeremiah, while also involved in the ALS Foundation and other organizations, she continued to raise us as her top priority. She never missed a moment in our lives. She was present and available in every possible way, literally every second of our lives.
Our mom's role here far exceeded Director of Education. She actually seemed to be like a guardian angel to so many. With inexplicable strength and an endless emotional reserve, she always had enough time and love for everyone who needed her, and always, no matter what, was still a supermom to us. We are so blessed to have you, Mom, and we have loved sharing her with this incredible community for the last 40 years. We love you, and we're so proud of you.
That's a hard one. We're on the same page. I've written a little more, but a generation of the children of Israel wandered 40 years in the desert because they were unwilling to enter a new land and put down new roots. They were afraid to initiate their independence. They wandered 40 years because they didn't have Annie alone. Annie, Mom, Dr. Lidsky, Safta, Tata, or the Chicken Lady are only a few of the names that my wife is known by. We are all given many names in the world, but all of her names mean love, compassion, understanding, and empathy. How fortunate I have been to know her many names for 53 years. Her ability to give loving care is without end. She is totally present and dedicated to me and family. Life was not meant to be easy for her, but she rose to every challenge and married me when I asked. Anne has shown me how to grow through every dilemma and ask that I not swear when things go wrong. She has made our marriage a loving partnership through communication, acceptance, patience, compromise, and forgiveness. She is the person in our family who can see the sorrow behind everyone's smile, the love behind one's anger and the reason for one's silence. I married one of a kind, and I'm a better human being because of it. She is a blessing to me, our children, and the grandchildren, and will be an eternal blessing to our future generations. I love her eternally. We love her eternally. That was insight into 53 years of family life. Let's turn for a moment to 40 years at Temple Jeremiah. For 40 years, she has been the Director of Education for the children of Temple Jeremiah. She has witnessed a full generation of young souls that have been nurtured on the roots of Jewish responsibility and have been given the independence to be their own person. All as a result of what they were taught at Temple Jeremiah. Curriculum is a necessary raw material, but the warmth of Anne's mottos, it's better to be nice than right, and being a mensch makes the world a better place to live, were the seeds that reached the souls of the children. Anne's relationship with the professional staff and school teachers was one of mutual admiration, dedication, appreciation, openness, and perseverance. The school views its children as family, and each child is loved unconditionally. Its national accreditation is well-deserved. You know, it is understood that a teacher affects eternity. And one can never tell where that influence stops. And so, Anne, 40 years of loving and giving will continue to change the future world through the students you have touched with your warmth and sincerity, and through your philosophy of life that has modeled as an example for all of us. Saying goodbye to yesterday can be a good thing. Gone is gone. Brave new worlds lie ahead. But what is cherished and never forgotten is the memory of a human being who teaches you to never give up on hope for today and always look for something good tomorrow. Anne has left you all, the children and families of Temple Jeremiah, a special gift. The gift of the memory of being loved. It is a precious gift. You can open it anytime you want. May she go from strength to ever greater strength. Chazak, chazak, benit chazek. We love you eternally.
Smiles we gave to one another for the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories may be beautiful, and yet what's too painful to remember? simply choose to forget. So it's the laughter we will remember. Whenever we remember the way we were, the way we Marvin Hamlish wrote that in 1973, right? Where were you? Tell them where you were when that was being written.
I have no.
Tell them.
Where was it? 1970.
The way we were.
1973. I was in Israel. So I would love. Can you all hear my voice? Yes, right. Our cantor is so talented, and the best evening that I could have and that all of you could have is to listen to the glory of her voice. I need it. So I enjoy your desserts, and while you're chewing softly, you will get to hear our cantor's voice. I can say I'm going to watch them.
But you can stay up here. And you know, that's a perfect segue into the next song. People who need people. Marvin Hamlish was writing, he was actually accompanying Barbra Streisand in 1964. The writer of that previous song, who was accompanying her in the movie Funny Girl, not the movie, the musical Funny Girl, right? So when he accompanied her on this beautiful song, and then he was so inspired, and he continued to write for her. And the song, I can't think of a better person. We just need you so much, and we are the luckiest people in the world. I feel like, because I know you, and you're my people who need people. We're children needing other children, and yet letting our grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. Thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
Circa 1980. This was her #1 song. If you know it, sing along. You got it, Larry? You got it? We got it ready? Ready? Okay. You can tell it's the 80s, right? The keyboard, the sympathy. Sing along, Amy. Ready? I should have the, anyway. Do you remember this song? Wasn't it great? Now, where were you in you just started here in 1980. No, yes. Anne just started here. This was Barbara's #1 song, and it marks her anniversary of just starting here in 1980. I love it. Life is a moment in space when the dream is gone. It's a lonely place. I kiss the morning goodbye, but down inside, you know I never know why. Sing it, Leora! The road is narrow and long as eyes meet eyes, and the feeling is strong. I turn away from the wall, I stumble and fall, but I give you it all. I am a woman in love, and I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within. It's a right I defend over and over again. What do I do? With you eternally mine, in love there is no measure of time. We planned it all at the start, that you and I'd live in each other's hearts. Sing it, Charlotte! We may be oceans away, you'll feel my love, I hear what you say. No, truth is never a lie. I stumble and fall, but I give you it all.
I'm a woman in love, and I'll do anything to get you into my world
and hold you within. It's a right I defend over and over again. What do I do? I am a woman in love, and I'm talking to you. You know how you feel, what a woman can do. It's a right I defend over and over again.
I'm a woman in love, and I'll do anything to get you into my world and hold you within.
It's a right I defend over and over again. Thank you. And now we're going to take you to 1979. 1979, we're going to take you to, you'll know it, but it's an original song written by Babs. I just got lipstick all over this microphone. By Babs herself. Original song from the movie Star is Born. Love, soft as an easy chair. Love, fresh as the morning air. One love that is shared by two. I have found with you, like a rose under the April snow. I was always certain love would grow. Love, ageless and evergreen, seldom seen by two. You and I will make each night a first. Every day a beginning. Spirits rise and their dances unrehearsed. They warm and excite us, 'cause we have the brightest love. Two nights that shine as one. Morning glory and midnight sun. Time we learn to sail above. Time won't change the meaning of one love, ageless and ever. Just like you, Annala, you are ageless and evergreen. I love you so much, Annala. So we're gonna do, Barbara doesn't write many fast songs, does she? So many are not. Even Woman in Love is supposed to be fast, but yet it's not. So we're gonna skip on to our last number. Don't Rain. Well, yeah, I shouldn't say what it is. I shouldn't give it away, but don't tell her not to fly. She's simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you, right? From the musical Funny Girl. Thank you so much. Thank you, Annala, for all you've done for us. Don't tell me not to fly, I'm sipping putter. Life's candy and the sun's a ball of butter. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly, I simply got to. If someone takes a spill, it's me and not you. Who told you you're allowed to rain on my parade? I'll march my band out, I'll beat my drum, and if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose or sheer perfection, the freckle on the nose of life's complexion, a cinder or a shiny apple of its eye, I gotta try once, I gotta fly once, only can die once, right, sir? Ooh, life is juicy, juicy and goosey, I gotta have my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march my heart to drummer. Don't bring around a cloud to rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now, get what I want, I know how. One roll from the whole shebang, one roll, that bell will go clang. Eye on a target and bam, one shot, one gunshot and bam. Hey, Mr. Einstein, here I am. I'll march my band out. I'll beat my drum, and if I'm found out, your turn at that, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I simply gotta march, my heart's a drum, and nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my parade. Thank you, Annalove.
As we continue, I'd like to invite Rabbi Schreibman to say a few words.
I'll hold this. Go ahead.
It is really a pleasure to be here with all of you. I wish I could hear what was going on. And you did so much for so many. You made so many people happy. When I think of your so many accomplishments, I have to smile happily. And now that you are retiring, I hope you shall be happy. So think happy thoughts, read happy things, be with happy people, and continue to bring happiness to so many people. I hope, Anne, that you and Jerry will be as happy as Patty and I have been in retirement. Love you and wish you the best.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Scott Levin to come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. My comments shouldn't run more than like 50 to 55 minutes. I'm kidding. Thank you to the amazing committee that organized these events. I said a little bit last night when Anne let the news break in December that she was going to be rewiring, and we tried to think about how to honor her appropriately. I said, I do not want to drive that bus. I said, I will be happy to fill the bus with gas, but we need someone else to drive the bus. And we had 3 people drive the bus. Rabbi Cohen thanked them already. Amy Zussman, Fern Kamen, and Barb Kite have breathed this planning for months. I mean, you really have no idea. Every day they talked, every day for months. I also want to thank our past presidents, each of whom worked with Anne in powerful and lasting ways, and I know were changed forever by that experience and spoke to that last night. Dr. Lidsky, Anne, has served our Temple Jeremiah community selflessly for 40 years. She is so much more than our director of religious education, a nationally renowned expert in Reform Jewish education. She is family and loved. She has so often taken us into her own family as her own, and we have felt that warmth. That warmth has brought countless numbers of congregants, families, and most importantly, children into our community. That warmth instills a Jewish identity, always with a striving eye towards being a mensch, a person of true integrity and honor. Her undeniable presence in her role will be deeply missed. But my feelings are conflicted. As I stated, Anne has served selflessly for 40 years, and selfless service comes with infinite fulfillment and some costs. It is time for us to honor Anne in her wish to spend more time with Jerry, her children, and her grandchildren. She has earned this, deserves this, beyond any doubt. As I have told her, and as a patient once told me, she is not retiring, but rather rewiring. She and her family will continue as vibrant and rich members of our Temple Jeremiah community. Anne has no plans of going anywhere different, just doing things differently. We are so proud to have established the Dr. Anne Lidsky Fund for Learning, a new and important piece of our ongoing endowment to ensure that honoring Anne and her legacy lives in perpetuity. If you have any questions about this or how to honor Anne, you can talk to Leslie Landman, our Director of Philanthropy. Lastly, and very importantly, Anne's connections within the realm of Reform Judaism and Jewish education are vast. She is already committed to helping our next Director of Congregational Learning, Matt Rissian, who's here tonight. Matt, will you raise your hand? And she, along with Rabbi Cohen, Cantor Friedman, Rabbi Heaps, and Danny Glassman, I am confident our Center for Learning will remain a beacon, a source of light and inspiration. During this transformative time in education on many levels, we will have the opportunity to begin a new chapter in Temple Jeremiah's story. This gives me great hope and strength as I support our beloved Dr. Anne Lidsky. And I ask you, please join me in that hope, strength, and support. Thanks for being here.
So many of you have been able to look at the different slides. Whoops. It goes back and forth? Okay. So again, just a tremendous thank you to all of the volunteers who made Sunday, May 16th happen, last night happen, this evening happen with tremendous hours of work. Julie Becker, Adrian Breen, Kathy Cohen, Leora Eisenberg, Aline Frost, Andrea Goodman, Bonnie Horn, Fern Kamen, Diana Kaufman, Barb Kite, Mindy Kurtz, Roberta Mallon, Gail Madro, Elisa Patterson, Gail Pierce, Karen Rohrbach, Lori Ruskin, Sheila Schlager, Patty Schreibman, Valerie Slotnick, Elisa Swirlovitz, Scott Levin, Cantor Amy Sussman, Danny Glassman, Rabbi Rachel Heaps, Cantor Susie Friedman. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And a special thanks to Brotherhood, Sisterhood, Inclusion Committee, Social Justice Committee, Temple Jeremiah Maintenance Crew, Stacy Dudek, Annie Kaplan, Katie Bick. And that's it? Okay, great. All right. So Anne asked me, are you going to say anything tonight? And I said, well, I'm going to do what you asked me to do. And she said, what did I ask you to do? And you asked me to share a story. And what I wanted to do is I was thinking about the stories that I've told and that I've shared over the years, and what is truly my favorite story, which I heard for the first time from a master storyteller, Penina Schramm. Some of you know her, have read her collections of stories and have had the privilege of hearing her tell these stories. And so with all credit to Penina Schramm and no credit to me, I hope that I do a little bit of justice to it, but I thought of this story and was thinking about you, what you've meant to me, to my family, and what you mean to this congregation, to your family, and to our community. So, B'kitzur, in short, imagine an oak forest filled with tall oak trees, just as far as the eye can see. And amidst this forest of oak trees, there is a tiny sapling, an apple tree, in the midst of these majestic oak trees. And this sapling gains awareness of its surroundings and sees these beautiful oak trees and just marvels at how tall and how big and how beautiful they are. And the first nightfall, this little sapling, this little apple tree, sees these oak trees and sees in the heavens above these stars. And the sapling, from its vantage point, imagines that the stars are actually a part of the oak tree. And it begins to wish and to dream and, in fact, to pray to God that it too would have stars in its branches, just like these majestic oak trees. And every night, the sapling sees the same sight and offers the same prayer to God. Please, God, I want to have stars in my branches like these majestic oak trees. And this happens night after night, day after day. And finally, the sapling gets a response from God. And God says to the sapling, be patient. You have so much to give. Don't worry about stars and the branches of other trees. You have yourself so much to give to this world. And the sapling said, God, I understand that, but I really want more than anything else to have stars in my branches like the oak trees. And the days pass and the seasons change, and all of a sudden, the sapling matures. And for the very first time in its branches, it has these beautiful flowers. And the sapling is very pleased and very happy now to be a tree among trees and to have these beautiful flowers. But nightfall came once again, and looking above and seeing the stars in the branches of the oak tree, began to offer that prayer again. Oh God, dear God, please let me have stars in my branches. And God responds to this now apple tree. Isn't it enough that you have flowers in your branches? Don't you realize the beauty that you're bringing into the world, the happiness that you're bringing to others? And the apple tree now begins shaking its branches, saying, no, 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 God, what I want more than anything else is to have stars in my branches. God says, well, be patient and be content with what you have. Know that you have the ability to bring happiness and joy, love and kindness into the world with these beautiful flowers. And so the seasons change and the flowers in turn become apples. And children come by and they pick the apples, and there's laughter and there's joy, and the apple tree is so happy until night falls. And once again, the tree looks up and sees the stars in the oak tree's branches and says, dear God, please God, I want to have stars just like these other trees in the forest in my branches too. And God says to the apple tree, isn't it enough? You have these wonderful apples that are providing so much joy, so much happiness. The people are sharing your apples and bringing kindness and happiness to one another. Why do you want stars? What is it? And the apple tree says, yes, I know I had flowers and now I have apples, but I want stars. I want stars. I want what these oak trees have. And God, as God would do, sighs a heavy sigh and causes a great wind to blow through the forest and to shake the branches of the oak trees and the apple tree. And all of a sudden, one of the apples falls to the ground and splits into two pieces. And God says, look at the apple that just fell to the ground. And the apple tree looked at the apple that had just fallen, and I'm not sure that you can see it, but there is indeed a star inside the apple. Now, I bring forward this story not to talk about apples, which I happen to love, but to talk about Anne, whom I also happen to love. And that Anne has this ability to help every person to see the star that they are, to see the kindness, the generosity, the compassion, all of the gifts that sometimes we overlook in ourselves. And Anne, you bring that to light. And for that, we are so very grateful that you continue to bring stars forth for each and every one of us. Cantor Zussman, you are up.
My toast is to a song. Wait, we gotta wait till she finishes with the picture. Okay, come on. The words to the song are gonna be up on the screen. You're gonna be able to do the chorus. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Tonight we're celebrating our Anne Lidsky. For 40 years she shared her heart and soul. She cares for each child truly and completely. Be a mensch, that's her mantra and her goal. She's got great energy, on that we all agree. She loves her faith, she's proud to be a Jew. Compassion fills her heart, she's also very smart. Oh dear sweet Anne, we all will sure miss you. Anne has built a school that's quite amazing. She's put Jeremiah on the map. She's innovative and her trails a-blazing. I thought that was so clever, trails, you know. A problem and resolves it in a snap. Here we go. She's a great confident Havdalah, she can. What's going on? What's happening here? What happened here? All right, but I want to just tell you about the Havdalah part that no, because I couldn't get, I tried to say Jonah, she loves to chant, but then I thought you'd think Jonah, no, that's not the Jonah. The Jonah that she chants on Yom Kippur afternoon, right? How we doing there, Rachel? Oh, for God's sakes. They're saying, come on, come on. I got nothing but time, you guys. All right. I'm going to lift it up just a little bit. She's a great confident Haftorah she can chant. She is adored by teachers near and far. She listens carefully, leads worship prayerfully. Oh, dear sweet Anne, you are our shining star. No one sang that part, Rabbi, because you didn't have the words up. Anne's been recognized and highly lauded. Covenant Award, and so much more. Her spirit and Asrui is applauded. Her upbeat, cheerful way is so adored. Here we go. Her love for Israel stays strong, it does not fail. Her candle burns bright through the darkest night. She offers smiles and hope, advice on how to cope. Oh, dear sweet Anne, you help us see the light. We're almost done. We're almost done, Rabbi. Oh, boy, he's mad at me. She's led retreats. She's had our teens all dancing. She shares her love of God with young and old. She hugs you tight. She's filled with understanding. And Lidsky is a wonder to behold. This is the end. Give it everything you've got. A wife to Jerala and such a loving ma. A safta tata to her treasured five. A friend beyond compare, she is extraordinaire. Oh, dear sweet Anne, you've deeply touched our lives. Ya la 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 la
I'd now like to invite Barb Kite to come forward.
Oh my God, I have to follow that? So Anne, are you having fun yet? I'm melted, but oh my God, I can't believe I have to follow that. Okay, you know what, Anne, I just realized I've spent since February reporting the weather because I just didn't want to deal with the emotional side of all of this. So I have been telling the committee, right, since February that it was going to be a beautiful night, and everyone kept going, sure. So I didn't deal with any emotions because it was just way too hard. So here's what I have to say. So for 40 years, all of us here have benefited from Anne's amazing ability to nurture our children and to teach us to embrace Jewish values and create a Jewish home. Anne has embraced all of us and treated each of us as the most beautiful, sacred flower. Anne always nurtures each relationship and showers them with just the right amount of empathy and caring. Anne tends to each person as a member of her own family. Anne offers every relationship sufficient sunlight, fresh air, and the freedom to grow. Anne takes joy in watching everyone who enters her garden blossom into someone special. As you walked in this evening, you may have noticed Anne's Garden of Love. It's right there, the beautiful flowers that we have. To honor Anne and continue her legacy of love, we ask that you, on your way out this evening, that every household take home a flower pot. Plant that flower in your garden, water and nurture that flower. Watch as your flower grows to its potential and grows into something special.
Fern Kamen, if you'll come forward.
A bit of a commercial before I begin. This is your take-home box. They are going to be passed out. We put many, many of them together. They are not easy to put together, but fortunately, we had Patty Schreibman on our committee, and she and her group put together a bunch of them. So there are about 50 that are put together. The rest, you're on your own. So I want you kind of to think back in history with me. Think back 40 years ago. At that time, Rabbi Schreibman asked me to be part of a temple committee to select a new director of education for our congregation. I had pretty good credentials at that time. I was a teacher, director at the Bernard Horowitz Center, and more important, Michael and I had 3 children in religious school. Hard for me to believe, but it's true. Some things you just don't forget. I remember the interview. We sat in the old temple library located where the chapel is now. Dr. Ann Lidsky, the candidate, came in and sat down. We questioned, we listened, and we knew. Dr. Ann Lidsky was our unanimous choice for Director of Education. At the same time, many Jewish families were moving to the northern suburbs. One of the results, our congregation membership and our religious school grew by leaps and bounds, really unprecedented, as they say. A few years later, I became the executive director of this welcoming and inclusive congregation for the next 28 years. Ann and I officed next door to each other all these years. We could communicate with a blink of the eye, a smile, a look. Ann, Amy, and I became known as the Fearsome Threesome. From teaching music to planning and organization, nothing happened at Jeremiah without this threesome putting their mark on it. And how now, with Ann's retirement, Amy's retirement, and my retirement, the Fearsome Threesome is together again. Congratulations, Ann, and here's to years of joyful, exciting family life and a great retirement. The best is yet to come.
I now invite forward Danny Glassman.
So, many of you know I like to be behind the scenes. I don't like to be up here on the stage. We have wonderful clergy, Dr. Lidsky, who do this all the time. So I will do my best to channel my inner greeter on the Bima on Saturday morning when the B'nai Mitzvah kids get their gifts. So first, Anne said to me, Danny, if the temple gets me a Kiddush cup, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. So Anne, I want to honor you with a Kiddush cup. I hope you and Jerry get to use it. The next Shabbos, it's all wrapped, so don't even try. Don't even try. The next thing I want to present to you is a art piece that Vicki Weisenberg put together for you. And I just want to say, the wrapping paper on this alone is an art piece, so you may just want to take a picture of that. But it's up on the screens, and it chronicles your 40 years here at Jeremiah and your family. And the last piece, I'm holding it so carefully, Bonnie. Don't worry. I'm not going to let anything happen to it. This is a piece that was commissioned for you. It's a one-of-a-kind piece that the artists in Highland Park, will make it work for you any way you want. But you could wear it and think about your Temple Jeremiah family wherever you go. And we hope to see you wearing it during High Holy Days when you're chanting Jonah on the Bema. We want to be able to see it. So I think so. We got confirmation. You're invited. All right. And this is for you also. And I'm just going to say, because everybody else has done it, thank you for everything that you do for this community, for all of us. You are a treasure. And I know you're not going anywhere, so you'll be back. High Holy Days. Come see her chant. All right.
Can I go sit down?
No, you don't get to speak now.
I'm next?
You're next.
Oh, I have to get my notes.
Do you want me to get them for you?
Got wet. Can you hear me in the back? Okay, my group in the back. I had no idea what was going to happen tonight. Zero. So a couple of months ago, I think, at least, maybe, Rabbi said to me, what would you like? And he says, you were thinking of a storyteller. Do you know any really renowned storyteller who can come? And I turned to him and I said, you're the best storyteller I know. And I didn't realize at that point you would really tell the story. So thank you. Thank you. I also did not know, Suze, where are you? Did she have to go somewhere? Oh, there you are, darling Susie. I had no idea that Susie was going to sing. And for her to sing my favorite person, Barbra Streisand, and I was just thinking, this is not in my notes, but listen, last time I'm going to get to talk to you, so you'll just have to kind of listen. I love Barbra Streisand so much, and there was a time she came to Chicago, and I just did not have it in me to spend that amount of money for tickets. And Leora and Elisa said, Mom, you should get to see Barbra Streisand. And they bought Jerry and I tickets to see her. And I don't know if you remember, but Barbra Streisand began to sing, and I was calling you sobbing on the phone that I'm here with my girlfriend Barbara. So really, Susie, there's just that power voice. It's the very best entertainment and evening to be able to spend. So I just have to, though I had no idea about that, so now I can look back at my notes. I knew there was a tent, but I had no idea of what this would look like. And so what an evening, the desserts and the drinks and all the details, the flowers that you're all going to go home with. And then to hear Jerry and my girls speak about me with so much love. Now, I knew they loved me, but they really loved me, it's really loved me. And I'm watching my grandchildren with so much pride and so much emotion, watching their moms crying. I mean, what more can you ask for? This celebration committee headed by Amy, Fern, Barb, and Danny, are going down in history for putting in the most number of hours, mostly on Zoom, for goodness sake, on Zoom, that we all got kind of tired of, to make this all happen. I want to thank you, my committee friends. I know who you are. Watch your mailboxes. You're going to have a little gift in that, because I know how committed you have been to make every single thing meaningful and perfect. And has this not been a perfect night? I don't know how many. The car parade in May. This is so warm. I'm never warm. I'm like freezing all the time. Not tonight. The car parade in May was amazing. Horns were blaring, balloons were flying, people were jumping out of their sunroofs. The junior choir sang. It was a day to remember. It was wild. I loved everything about it. I knew Barb kept saying I never ran a car parade before, organized it, and it was perfect. And Barb, I want to thank you always for being such a wonderful forever friend. Last night, and I continue to thank Rabbi Cohn for putting all those pieces together. And I know Amy was involved, and honestly, there's so much Amy, and I didn't know you were writing a song. It's Amy. There's so much that I could say to you about our unique, treasured connection to one another, everything we've been through and that we've shared. But for now, I want to thank you for loving me so much. You are, as the kids say, BFF, best friends forever, 40 years, and moving forward forever. Oh, Fernie Mae, the hours you put in, the details you took care of with such finesse, making me always feel so good about it. Thank you for all of that and for your kind, loving friendship that will always go forward. I think you're going to teach me how to play canasta. This is good. Danny, how many times did I apologize to you, so keenly aware of all the hours you were putting in, keeping an eye full-time on the temple? Maybe there was a titch of frustration that may have snuck in this planning of the weekend, and you always stayed calm. And many, many, many years from now, I'm going to head up your celebration. Many years, don't get scared. You're a treasure. You're a treasure. It is really somewhat surreal that this is the last time I am going to address my temple people in my role as your educator. And as Rabbi Cohn and I recently shared, it's all surreal. I know that some of you were unable to join us last night when I took the opportunity to express my gratitude to this congregation for allowing me to enter your lives, to love your children, and to develop all of these lifelong friendships. I am touched by everything, Rabbi, that you designed. Rabbi Schreibman, where's my sweet Bob there? For his kind words, for all of the Spirit. It was such a memorable evening. And Scott, every time you get up to talk, I'm so calm because I know you're going to be so calm and so loving. I don't know how he is at home, Amy. He's very calm here. Over the years, I've learned that no matter what field we are in the world of business or medicine, social service, we can most profoundly impact lives by being patient, thoughtful with our words and our actions, always placing more importance on being kind than right, and showing gentleness in our daily encounters. The theologian Martin Buber described a meaningful, empathetic relationship as an I-thou connection with people, where we are 100% present without judgment, making something that might be ordinary into something extraordinary, which is extraordinary. These are the relationships that impact us, enrich us, and make a difference in the lives of others. And it all begins with kindness. Kindness is a state of being. It's not just what we do, it is who we are. All of us here have powerful connections with one another. When I look out at you and I make that I, thou, eye contact and remember every individual story and experience we have shared together, I know how real it is. Some are filled with crazy, crazy laughter and joy, while others have a feeling of palpable grief. They were all powerful, enriching moments for both you and for me. People have asked me what I hope my legacy will be, and it feels awkward, and I'm not sure what to say. So I ask you to allow me to share a core message with you, which I hope will answer that question. And I want to do that with the journey that I shared with Lori Ruskin, who's here tonight, and who has given me permission to share its power. I officially met Lori at a membership dinner approximately 10 years ago. Now, she was a parent long before that, David, 2 little children, but at this membership dinner, we sat next to one another. And we just began to talk, and she said to me, "Oh, I would really love to learn how to read Hebrew." And I said to her, "I'd be happy to teach you how to read Hebrew." She looked at me, she got up and moved away from the table. I went over to her. I took a look, and she looked at me and began to sob. But I mean break down sobbing. I put my arms around her. I had no idea what was happening. I held her, and I held her as long as I could. And when she settled down, she said, "My mom has just been diagnosed today with reoccurring cancer." We went into services together. We sat together. We had just met that evening. I held her hand, and when it was time for the Mishaberach, we stood together, said her name, and I sang. That was a Friday. So on Monday, unbeknownst to me, she had gone home and said to David, "Oh my, what kind of impression did I leave on Ann Lidsky? I hope she forgets." But on Monday, I called her and said, "When is our first Hebrew lesson?" And I'd say for at least 8 months, 9 months perhaps, every week, Lori came to my office, and every week we did Hebrew. We were on a Hebrew journey. And about halfway through, I said to Lori, "I'm going to teach you a prayer for your mom." And I taught her the Mishaberach. And when Lori's mom was in the hospital, I went there, and we stood arms around each other, and Lori, in full voice, sang the Mishaberach for her mom. It was a moment for me, I think even more so for me than Lori, although she doesn't feel that way. Shortly after Lori's mom passed away, she had mentioned, and it may even have been Marley, her daughter, that there was a performance. Marley was in a performance at the Northbrook Park District or Theater, and how Lori was somewhat dreading facing the first time that she would be at such a function without her mom. And so I bought a ticket, and I showed up. We are all created in the image of God. We don't look like God because God has no form. But through the gift of our soul at birth, we all have the potential to live all the qualities we ascribe to God, like patience and sensitivity, forgiveness, thoughtfulness, empathy, and particularly kindness. Anne Laurie said, "You have impacted my life forever. I believe my mom sent you to me. I'm touched and I'm honored to think that, but I know that my life was just as enriched, if not more so." Some might think, well, that was pretty extraordinary what you did for Laurie, and I go, I was given the gift of the miracle of the opportunity to be present, to be kind, and to be my best self. My life was impacted by this journey with her, and I am enriched simply by remembering not only Laurie's story, but when I look at every table and all the people here, we too have shared those stories. This is the message that I want to bring. Every one of us here, every one of us on this earth can live kind. It is our hidden superpower. And I know that Matt, our new director of congregational learning, has that superpower within him. I learned that once kindness becomes our identity, it increasingly rules our thoughts, our actions, and our deeds. Adrienne Bankart, who's an ABC correspondent, wrote about kindness, and she verbalized exactly the mantra I have been sharing with children and parents for 40 years. Kindness brings out the best in us, the undeniably real us. You make the day better. That is just about the best thing anyone can say to you. Giving kindness is a reminder that we're put on this planet to shine bright and be someone else's answer. It's how God works through people. Kindness keeps us committed to being who we really are. To the question, who are you? The best answer is, I am kind. We all can be present for someone else. We are nourished when we are kind, and in doing so, we are living the highest and best version of ourselves. Nice is being polite. Kindness is connection. This is the message for everyone's legacy. You are a special group of people, and I say, kol hakavod, all the honor to you. I know all of you, and I know you have helped me and others shine brightly. And I have witnessed how all of you exhibit encouragement by being the kind who are kind, and you are. They say that one day we might forget the people that once came into our lives, but I know that when that day comes, I won't forget you, because you didn't just come into my life, you became part of it. I'm going to leave you with a final thought. I do not know where I read it, but it's a very perfect way to end. And it's so fitting, Rabbi, with your story. And I didn't know the story that you were going to tell. Today, if I could truly reach up and hold a star for every time you have all made me smile, feel loved and embraced, have experienced your kindness, if I can just reach up and take a star each time, the sky would be in the palms of my hands. And Danny's going to forgive me. He hates this kind of glitter. But here are the stars. I want to thank you. There's nothing worse than cleaning up glitter, but there are beautiful stars. I want to thank you for 40 years of graceful beauty. I am forever grateful to each one of you. Shavua Tov, and thank you for being here. Shavua Tov. There is so much love in this room. I hope every one of you takes that message, that core message that I have learned over the years. It makes us happy. Someone says, well, you're kind. And I go, I'm happier when I'm kind. I'm not happy when I'm not. I love you all. I hope these relationships, and I know they will continue. I thank my colleagues for being here. I have a whole table of them. Thank you for coming. And all of you have stepped out of COVID and felt the joy of coming together. Thank you all.
you.